nice wins, and I think besides the nice wins, you came back in the fourth quarter. You came back and used strong fourth quarters to get these wins. What does that tell like a team?
We played really good in the second halves down the stretch. Particularly the last 8-10 minutes are kind of when we made our runs, and it was good to see toughness on the road, guys sticking with it, and just continuing to play through some adversity and being able to finish off those games.
Your defense was super.
Yeah, it was the best two-game stretch I think we've had defensively all year. The guys were really locked in, did a good job, and with the exception of the first half of the S&T game, really rebounded the ball well too, which is always big for us.
In both those games, you had a different player come on strong in the second half. You got the hot hand, you just try to get it to him, didn't you?
Yeah, and our team's really unselfish. Guys do a good job of understanding who's got it going and being able to find them. And, Cole and Kyle in the second half of that Drury game, Cole scored 12 straight there in one stretch, and Kyle hit a couple big shots late, Vanderswag and some of those guys. So just really an unselfish group, and I thought we really shot the ball with confidence.
The women stuck around Saturday and cheered you on. How much that help?
Oh, it means a lot when you're on the road, and it's kind of, all you have is your team and your little few parents that make the trip and a couple fans. So it was really good for the women to stick around and support us. We really appreciate them doing that. But, particularly after a tough loss for them on Saturday, for them to stick around and get home, 3 hours later to support us really does mean a lot.
First place, you gotta like the sound of that. Doesn't last forever. Just you're there. Now you gotta stay on top of the mountain. St. Joe's is first.
Yeah, and so we've put ourselves in a good position. And like I told our guys after the game, they don't hand out trophies with 7 games left. So still got a lot of work left to do, and continue to take it one day at a time and prepare for each game. And it's going to be a long road trip this weekend. We're going to have to be ready to play.
They're sort of a helter-skelter type team too. You just saw one of those this past weekend. They, a little muckety-muck here and there, right?
Well, I haven't seen much on them yet. Coach Nick's been working on the scouts, so I'll get into some of that today. But a much improved team. Have had some good wins in conference play, and really played some teams close in some games that they've lost. So really be a tough challenge for us on Thursday.
You played well on the road. Is there a reason why you played better on the road this year?
I think just having veteran guys, those guys have been in a ton of road games. They understand what it takes. They understand what to expect and how to go about your business when you're traveling and preparing for the game. So I think having veteran guys really helps.
And down the stretch here, you're no longer just Truman coming to town. You're a marked man. You're a marked team because where you are. You gotta like that.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I felt like that all year. It's not, we're not going to sneak up on people anymore. I think we've garnered some respect in our league with the last couple of years, the types of season that we've had. So it's been good for the guys to see the guys step up to that challenge and really understanding that there's not going to be anybody taking you lightly.
We talked about this before, but one more time. Let's just talk about your bench a little bit. Just so you can come in, give your guys a little bit of a breather, and not miss a beat. That's big.
Yeah, when you look at bringing a guy like Cole Myers off the bench right now, so since the knee injury, he hasn't been starting. He's been coming off the bench, and you have a guy of that caliber coming off your bench and providing that leadership, so it certainly gives you a big lift. And then those young guys, Belke and Nick sprained his ankle and didn't get much time this weekend, but Billy Daniel, I thought, played 2 really good games, particularly defensively and rebounding the ball. Jake Velke came in and hit some big shots for us in the first half against Drury. So, we're going to continue to need those guys to step up and play well. And, really it's everybody on the roster, whether they play or in the rotation right now or not, is just continue. Those guys have done a great job in helping us prepare. And, we're going to need everybody on the roster, top to bottom, to get it done.
And how would you rate Coach Mike's pregame meals and choices of restaurants on the road so far this year?
He's been pretty good so far.
They have a guard, they have a girl who plays for them named Princess.
Yeah.
Have you ever played or coached against a girl named Princess?
Not until her. I mean, we've coached against her now for this will be our third year, so we're pretty familiar with her. But I mean, she doesn't play like a princess, that's for sure. She can really play. She can really fill up the hoop really quickly if you allow her to do those things. So she's a very talented kid.
Let's go back to last weekend first. Talk to me about your team sticking around and rooting the men on. Talk to me about that.
I mean, I think we're a big family here, and we have a lot of respect for the men's team and the men's program and the men's coaches. And, I think we share a lot of ideas off each other, even as coaches, and I look to them some for some answers with stuff. But I think that, we love to stay around and watch them play. Their guys play really hard, and they're gritty, and I think it's a fun team to watch, and they play so well together. So, we're definitely going to stay around and support them, and I enjoy watching men's basketball as well.
It wasn't. You didn't get the two wins that you wanted on the road this past week. You got the split, so it's not the end of the world. You're still right in the race.
Right. I was happy with the split. I think going into the Drury game, as I told our kids, Drury has been in that position many, many times. I mean, they were put in that position Thursday, and this was the first time in our program at this point of the season that we were in first place and playing against a team that's, been there before. So I think it was a good learning experience for us of, when you get in those situations, what it takes. And I thought we put a good 20 minutes together, but when you play teams like that, you got to put 40.
And back on the road this week, same game plan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. First it's St. John.
Yeah, and, we'll go into this week and we'll hopefully at least get a split. I think we have an opportunity to get two if we play really well. St. Joe is very talented. They're sitting in third on the other side. So, we got to take it one day at a time, one game at a time, and really just prep for them right now and go there with the mindset of, we got to get at least one on the road.
Your defense has been the key all year. I mean, the other night first game was up 42 points.
Yeah.
It's pretty much unheard of, but talk to me about. I know your kids are buying in. They've bought in all year. But besides that, what's the key to your team playing such great defense?
Well, I think it helps that we have some veterans out there this year. I think they understand. When you get to even conference play and you play the same teams over and over, you have a really good feel for personnel. And I think there's a lot of kids that are returning in this league this year that played last year. So I think our returners have a good idea of their strengths and their weaknesses. I think it helps that we're bigger and longer. We play 6'2", our second 5 players 6'1". We're 6 foot at least in the 4 position. We have a 6'2" player that's long and lanky, and I think that helps. We also have some pretty good athleticism in our 2 and point guard spot. And Steinhoff's probably one of the best lockdown defenders we've seen, and she can really hold some teams down.
Down the stretch, all these games, and getting towards the end of the season, how key is just getting your girls some rest a little bit, and having the bench come in and give you some quality minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's important, especially, when you're at this time of the year, is being able to play a little bit deeper. And I thought this weekend we got some really good things from some kids on our bench. I thought Brooke Bailey, as a redshirt freshman, was really good for us. She's been really sick the last 3 weeks to a month, and she finally looked like herself the other day. I thought Linnea Schmelzer had an outstanding weekend for us. Maybe not showing it on the stat line and everything she did, but she did some things really nice for us. So, if we can continue to work them in at this time of the year and give our starters, especially if we can do it in that first game to save some legs for that second game on Saturday, I think it makes a difference.